Hello, welcome to another Burgundy with Tweedy video. Some Vosne Romane today. It feels like it's been a while since I've had anything from Vosne Romane. This is a producer I've had some wines from before. I can't remember now if that included this village from them. Aurelien Verdet, and this is a 2017 vintage. Really pleased to still be able to pick these up. Required a little bit of rummaging around in that bargain basement that is Lane Wheeler. As I probably say every time, they sell a lot of wines from their clients, so it's sort of it's a marketplace, a bit like BBX, but Barry Brothers and Rudd also have a similar marketplace thing. And I think the stock does change over time, so possibly when I'd looked on a previous shopping spree, this may not have been available. It may just suddenly be that at some point in the last few months that a client of theirs has said, I want to sell a case of this or some cases of this. So stuff does come and go quite a lot, which is interesting. I think it's worth constantly checking back with them. I think the price was relatively reasonable as well, considering this is getting towards being a sort of middle-aged Burgundy now, 8 years off the vine. We're at the tail end of, is this Storm Amy? Which, given the fact it begins with an A, I think is probably the first named storm of the new storm season, which roughly goes with the academic year, doesn't it? They start in sort of September or October, something like that. Hasn't been too bad here, just a bit windy, but I have had a bit of damage to the vineyard. Some of the vines have come down. Not that the crop was anything I was particularly holding out for. Quite a bright colour, actually, isn't it? The light's slightly gloomy, but there's something quite, I don't know how that's coming across on camera, but that looks quite bright. Nice bright red there. Before giving that a swirl, it is sort of fruity, but it's none of the usual Burgundy fruits. Not obviously cherry or berry fruit. Maybe even something like red apple. I don't know if my nose is going a bit strange there. That's very weird to find in a Burgundy. Not something I would initially have expected there. Okay, see what happens with a bit of agitation. Now a bit of red berry fruit maybe is coming out of hiding. Yeah, but still I get an odd sensation of, I think, orchard fruit there. Something, yeah, sort of appley. So we've got sort of apples and possibly raspberries now. And then possibly at the tail end of all of that is a bit of something floral like rose. A little bit of an enigma there. It's not, to my nose at least, not so immediately obviously Burgundian. Okay. On the palate, sort of savoury to begin with. Fairly smooth mouthfeel. Not sure I would call that silky. Sometimes people end up using the word velvety as a slight downgrade from silk, don't they? Again, somehow I'm reminded of apples there. That is weird, isn't it? Red apple, maybe some more red berry fruit type character. Tiny hint of spice maybe as well. That is a bit odd. I wonder if this is a wine that needs quite a while to open up, possibly. It's not really quite doing anything I would expect it to be doing at the moment. I'm not sure I can really do this justice right now. Perhaps I should just stop talking and come back to you later. But I end up never doing that. I get busy with dinner and distracted by other things. We never really hear a final summary. I think it does need a bit of time to breathe and wake up and come into its own. So I'll just stop talking for now. Hopefully I'll remember to come back a bit later. Maybe the wind will have died down a bit by then as well.